All right, it's time to check in with the markets at the moment and why are Apple and Tesla in the hot seat this week. For more, I'm joined by Jessica Amir from trading platform Moomoo. How strong are earnings this season compared to the past decade? Jess, it's good to see you.
Great to see you, Mike. Well, it's been a cracking earnings season so far. So good, in fact, that earnings has been well above historical averages. In fact, above the 10-year historical average. Yay! So it's good. So we've seen, most of the biggest companies in the world are indeed in the S&P 500 beating earnings forecasts. Plus, the amount of companies beating expectations is also above the 10-year average. But what's also really good, Mike, for investors who are not yet invested, but also for those who are invested, is that forward earnings are also being upgraded as well. So the biggest companies in the world, they're saying, hey, we don't think we're going to have a recession. The consumer's strong. This is good for the economy. Plus, the icing on the cake is we've heard a lot about the clean, green electrification. Again, this is a major, powerful force for earnings season. It's good for the economy as well. Plus, another bit of extra hot sauce, if you will, is we've had the IMF upgrading economic growth as well. And economic growth has already been beating expectations as well. So a really good mix for markets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see and hear some optimism from out there. Can we just expand on that sentiment regarding the possibility of a recession based on the earnings performance? I know there's still a few people out there who are, on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, so far we have seen, I guess, a weaker than expected employment. So we have seen, I guess, unemployment pick up earlier than forecast. But this is something that the Fed was anticipating, and indeed locally as well, the RBA. But so far we haven't seen unemployment really causing great alarm. But the good news is we have seen wages actually pick up as well in totality. And so far, I guess, the breadth and spending in the economy is continuing. So no one is expecting the R word anytime soon. We still have GDP, as we were saying, growing stronger than expected and nowhere near bottoming out. Remember, we do need 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP to officially be a recession, and no one is forecasting that, or that's at least not the consensus. So that is supporting the notion that equities or markets should have another positive year this year.
Okay, well, let's touch on what's going on with Tesla. I understand Elon Musk's been the focus of a lot of discussion this week. What have you witnessed?
Yeah, in fact, a couple of hours ago, believe it or not, Tesla was, or rather Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, was headlining the 24th Milken Conference. And this is a conference, basically, it sounds a bit funny, but bringing together celebrities and big business. And so Elon Musk is headlining the Milken Conference alongside Argentina's president, would you believe? So I guess he's really hyping up Tesla. We do know that Tesla shares have been struggling of late, but we did see stronger than expected earnings. And what was another, I guess, bright spark for Tesla shareholders was that they did receive the nod out of China for full self-driving. That was a huge win for Tesla. Plus, they actually pulled a wild card out of the hat, and they announced that they are going to be proceeding with that $25,000 EV. That's a game changer for Tesla because it means that they can now compete with some of the most bought EVs in the world, and we do know a lot of those EVs are coming out of China as well. So BYD, in fact, is going neck on neck with Tesla. So now Tesla can compete, but we do have to say that cheaper EV, Mike, is not coming out until next year. But all in all, I guess there's lots of hype and excitement that Tesla shares have finally found their low and are starting to move up.
Jess, I want to jump to another tech giant, Apple. They've been under the microscope as well. What's been the latest from them?
So better than expected results from Apple last week. But this week, all eyes and ears are on Apple's event because they're expected to unveil their first lineup of brand new iPads for the first time in 18 months. It's a really, really, really big deal because we've got to remember that there's been a record drought for new iPad releases. Remember that Steve Jobs first introduced the iPad back in 2010, but we haven't really seen much in way of innovation. But there's a lot of hype and expectation about this event, which takes place on May 7 in the US time. Aussie time, that's May 8, probably when a lot of us are sleeping around midnight. But we do know that Apple is, well positioned as a business to I guess, use their hardware and software and actually integrate AI into their devices and chips. So that is what we're expecting to be unveiled and announced. And I guess because of this hype around the iPads, Apple actually thinks this will be a huge area for business growth in 2024. Plus,
Incredible
we do know
stats.
their services division, which is, the Apple Music, Apple TV, that revenue just hit a brand new record, and it's expected to grow at record rates throughout the year.
Jess, I'll no doubt be touching base with you again as this continues to unfold, so appreciate you and your time and joining us today. Look forward to speaking again next week.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good one.